I'm not a person that likes to show emotion at all. That is I just don't like showing emotion, because one of my biggest fears is me opening up to someone and them not taking the fact that I'm being vulnerable with them seriously. But I'm always gonna look out for me regardless. That's the part of self-care that nobody wants to talk about. It's not all about the face masks and the deep conditioning. It's about standing up for yourself and genuinely treating yourself with respect in every circumstance. And I felt like in this circumstance, I wasn't being respected. I told the people that I felt like I wasn't being respected and I felt uncomfortable. And me being uncomfortable was just not, it wasn't in their list of priorities. This is not a drama channel. That's why it took all the strength in me not to pull up the text messages and give receipts. But honestly, I am getting very tired of me going the extra mile to see where other people are coming from, and then the moment where I express that I don't like something, oh my goodness, don't let Christian have an opinion, because that is just ridiculous. I'm genuinely a very quiet, reserved, and introverted person. So if I go and take time out of my day to explain how something that you have done has made me uncomfortable, that's a lot for me. And so when I told her that something that she had did made me uncomfortable, she didn't react well to that. And they didn't like the fact that I was standing up for myself and being very firm. And then they called me manipulative, and they said that I was gaslighting. So my hair is so long. I really don't know if you guys know this, but my hair is long. Like, that's so crazy. Like, except for this little, we ignore her. Except for this little piece right here, I have a whole puff. Oh baby, give it one more month. Give it one more month. A whole ponytail. That's crazy. And it's not a struggle ponytail. Like, it's actually thick. Thick. Oh my gosh. So, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's get into this video. So today's video is going to be a deep condition and chat episode. It's a little bit controversial, but I'm gonna talk about it in the most professional and respectful and classy way. But yeah, so get your snacks, get your meals, get some tea, get some water, and get comfortable, because I feel like today's deep condition and chat might be a little bit longer. We'll see. It just depends on how long it takes me to tell the story. But thank you to all my new subscribers. We hit 4,500 and I'm just so happy, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you for subscribing, because you subscribe if you want. But before we get into the actual chat, one, I've been getting a lot of comments about how you guys think my voice is so calming, and I've been getting ASMR video requests. And that's so funny, because one of my hair videos, and then I did an actual ASMR video, and those videos, everybody was like, thank you so much for this ASMR. I love ASMR. And I didn't know, I thought you guys were gonna be like, this is so weird. But you guys didn't say that. But thank you for the compliments on my voice. Really sweet. I don't know if I could fit ASMR into another one of my videos, but I'm glad you guys like it, and I'm glad that I have a calming voice. That's a very nice compliment. And the other video request was a singing video. And I don't like to sing in front of people. I don't like to sing when I know people are going to play it. I don't like singing on camera. I just don't. But I'm going to try to sing something in like 10 seconds. If it doesn't make it to this video, you guys know what happened. So there'll just be a jump cut here and we'll get right into the deep conditioning chat. But the video that I was singing in, that I got singing video requests from, was this video where I was dyeing my sister's hair, and I was playing around singing, but I didn't even want to put that part of the video in. The only reason I put that part of the video in was so my video could be 8 minutes. Because if I didn't put that part of the video in, my video was like 7 minutes and some change, or like 6 minutes and some change. And I was like, no, I want this video to be monetized to the fullest. So I just added that part back in. And even in the video, I put a timestamp saying, skip this part. People did not skip that part. They watched it anyways. And then I got requests for singing videos, and people were liking the comment, so it was at the top. I respect you guys, because I don't like how influencers sometimes act like their audience isn't the one like supporting them. Like, if I don't have you guys clicking on my videos, liking, watching, and commenting, there would be no channel. So I do value you guys' opinions and your video requests. So I'm gonna try. If it doesn't make it to the final video, it doesn't make it to the final video. All right, I'm scared. Oh, I know your vibe. Oh, leave the lights on, leave the lights on, yeah. Okay, I don't know if any of that is going to make it to the final cut, but if you get it, you get it. Okay, so today's video is gonna be a life update. So basically, I'm in college, and last week I came back from college after being in my on-campus apartment for 2 weeks. So if we go back to November of 2020. So in November of 2020, I came home from spring break. Spring break. I came home for Thanksgiving break in November, and I basically told my parents that if possible, I didn't want to go back on campus, because I felt like being in an on-campus apartment during what's going on right now would honestly be a waste of their money. Because initially, when I signed the lease back in, we signed the lease in February of 2020, and nothing going on with the panoramic was happening at that time. So when we signed the lease for the apartment, everything was fine. That was before Coco Chanel. But by the time we were supposed to go back to school in August, you know, all of the campuses were like, okay, we're doing hybrid. So me being a dance major, I was like, okay, well, hybrid is just overall 100% better than strictly Zoom. Zoom for dance majors is so, like, it makes me want to drop out. Like, I know I say I want to drop out in every video, but like, Zoom for dance majors makes me want to drop out. So I was like, I want to go back on campus because I honestly, I like having my own space. I feel like I focus more when I'm not home, and there's less distractions. And we also wanted to, you know, get the most out of the money that we were paying on the lease. So in August, I went back for the fall semester. And by the time I came back for Thanksgiving, I just told my parents I just didn't think it was the best investment of their money to be paying for me to be in my room, because what happened was, at first everything was hybrid and I did feel comfortable, you know, going to in-person classes, and then my college like closed, and the only classes that were in person were essential classes. Now, dance classes were a part of the essential group, but at the same time, it's just like the department was saying that dance is essential, but then I still had professors that were doing their classes all online. So I just felt like overall it was kind of like, this is what we're recommending, but at the end of the day, professors can do what they want. And some of the professors were continuing to do in-person classes, and some of the professors were continuing to do online. And so my biggest fear was that I come back to school in January, and Biden is in office and he does some sort of mandatory lockdown where every single class, whether that's essential or non-essential, is online. And if that were to happen, if like where I go to school, if the cases are to spike and then all of a sudden everything is closed, and then I'm, you know, back in my room basically paying full tuition, well, not full tuition, but I'm paying my tuition just to be in my room, and I just didn't think that was a good idea. So let me just reiterate that I wanted to break my lease because I felt like it wasn't a good investment of my parents' money, and if I could get somebody else to live in my room and I come home and we save all of that rent money that I was gonna spend from January to July, that's a whole 6 months worth of rent that could just stay in my parents' pockets. I wanted to do that because it just didn't make sense to me to risk going back to school just for the possibility of everything getting put back online. I just wasn't willing to take that risk. So basically, one of my roommates asked me what my plans were, and I told them that I was looking for somebody to sublease my room. So basically take my room and pay the rent for the last 6 months. And when I told this person that's what I was planning on doing, I felt that I was getting interrogated about that decision. And I personally felt that they were taking my decision to move out personally. And I tried to assure this person that it is not you at all. It's not you. And they would not stop asking me questions, and it got to the point where I just stopped responding to them, because I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you about a decision that I've already made. And so I just stopped responding to the person's messages. And while I was talking to this person about why I wanted to move out and why I wanted to sublease, although 100% my reason for wanting to move out was the money, there were additional factors that also made my decision easier. I personally felt like my feelings towards what is going on right now are a little bit more, they're a little bit stronger than a lot of my peers. I take my health super seriously. And I told this person that I felt uncomfortable when they went to a party, okay? When I told this person, it made me uncomfortable that you went to this party. One, they lied to me and said something that was not true, which really made me disappointed. They lied to me and said something that was not true, and then they told me that I am taking Coco Chanel too seriously. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And honestly, it was frustrating for me because I'm not a person that likes to show emotion at all. That is I just don't like showing emotion, because one of my biggest fears is me opening up to someone and them not taking the fact that I'm being vulnerable with them seriously. Like, vulnerability these days is like, oh, Christian, why aren't you opening up? Maybe because you don't make me feel comfortable enough to. But I'm genuinely a very quiet, reserved, and introverted person. So if I go and take time out of my day to explain how something you have done, to explain how something that you have done has made me uncomfortable, that's a lot for me. And so when I told her that something that she had did made me uncomfortable, she didn't react well to that. And so that situation, along with a couple other situations, definitely made my decision a lot easier. And then a couple weeks later, I was accused of gaslighting. So basically, there was a situation where I basically volunteered myself to be in charge of paying the electric bill, because honestly, we had two bills to pay. One was electric and the other one was Wi-Fi. And I am a very responsible person, and I felt that me being in charge of the Wi-Fi would be best, because I felt like it's a lot of responsibility and I don't want to have to rely on anybody else to have that large responsibility, because if something were to happen or if somebody were to miss a date, that's pretty much all of the appliances in the house could get turned off. Like, the lights could get turned off, the fridge, the electricity behind the fridge, all of that. Like, pretty much paying the electric bill is the most important bill. So I took it upon myself to volunteer to be in charge of the electric bill. And so the people that I was living with, they would pay me the money and I would pay the bill. So in 1 month of the bill, one of the tenants said that she was gonna be late because she was having some issues paying the bill because of some circumstance. And I said, you know what, no problem, because when I would tell them, hey guys, it's time to pay the bill, it would be weeks in advance. Like, I always told them to pay me like 2 to 3 weeks in advance, and we never missed a date because I always paid the electric bill like 3 weeks before it was due. So one of the tenants told me that she was gonna be a little bit late paying the bill that month, and I said, sure, no problem, because we always pay it early. So the next month, the same tenant, she sends me the money for the bill through an app where you have to wait 2 to 3 business days to get the full amount of money. The issue is that the day that they paid me through this app that takes 2 to 3 business days, that was a Thursday. So because it was a Thursday, I wouldn't be able to pay the bill until Monday. And we as a collective agreed that we would be paying the electric bill on the 15th of every month. And so when I said, hey, it's time to pay, she sent it through that particular app. And I asked her if she could send it to me through another app, which basically helps me get the payment instantly, so I wouldn't have to wait until Monday. And with me being so understanding and gracious the previous month, I thought this wouldn't be an issue. But it was an issue. So I asked her, I refunded the money, and I asked her if she could please send it through the app, which helps me to get the payment instantly. And she said that Christmas was coming up, the holidays were coming up, and she had things to pay for. And this was in December. So I said, you know what? No problem. You have until the due date, which was about 3 weeks away, to pay your portion. And she told me no. And she sent it to me again through the same app that would have me waiting 2 to 3 business days for the money to hit my account. Now, I felt like this was disrespectful because we had been paying the bill a certain way for the past 5 months. And I feel like if you're gonna do something different, you should communicate with that person and make sure they're okay with it. And I told her that I was not comfortable with her doing that. And not to mention, I don't like the feeling of having other people's money in my account for long. So I like to pay the electric bill as soon as the other roommates would send me their money. I would pay that bill immediately because I don't need any mix-ups talking about, oh, well, I lost your portion of the money here and I don't want to be responsible. I just don't like the feeling of having other people's money in my account for too long. So that whole situation made me very uncomfortable, and I totally understand that me being like, I don't want you to pay me through this. Can you please use a different payment method? I feel like it shocked the person because I'm usually a very passive, like I said, and very introverted person. And so for me to be standing up for myself and saying, no, that's not gonna work. I don't want you to pay me like that. I want you to pay me how we've normally done it so that I can pay the bill on time. And they didn't like the fact that I was standing up for myself and being very firm. And then they called me manipulative, and they said that I was gaslighting. So I say all of that to say that is why I moved out. So basically, I was only up in the apartment for 2 weeks because I was advertising that I was looking for someone to sublease my room. And when I got to the apartment, that person DM'd me about the apartment, and she ended up taking my room. So a couple of things happened while I was in the apartment. I felt very uncomfortable, and I was wearing my mask in the house because some of the things that were said to me just made me uncomfortable about being in there without a mask. So yes, I literally moved out 2 weeks ago and then came back last week. So I am home for the rest of the semester. I am doing all of my classes virtually. And yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know, get that little rant out. Like, this is not this is not a drama channel. That's why it took all the strength in me not to pull up the text messages and give receipts. If you want to watch my college roommate horror story, I'll probably put it in the description box. But honestly, I am getting very tired of me going the extra mile to see where other people are coming from, and then the moment where I express that I don't like something, oh my goodness, don't let Christian have an opinion, because that is just ridiculous. But yeah, that's what happened. It was a very unfortunate situation, but I'm always gonna look out for me regardless. And that's the part of self-care that nobody wants to talk about. It's not all about the face masks and the deep conditioning. It's about standing up for yourself and genuinely treating yourself with respect in every circumstance. And I felt like in this circumstance, I wasn't being respected. I told the people that I felt like I wasn't being respected and I felt uncomfortable. And me being uncomfortable was just not on, it wasn't in their list of priorities. Me being comfortable in my own living space was not a priority. And I feel like that is very insensitive when we're all paying the same amount to live there. I feel like I shouldn't be uncomfortable in my own living space. So that is why I moved out. But yeah, I'm back home and I'm gonna be doing the rest of the semester virtually. So that's the tea on that. I hope that was done very classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty. But I don't know, I had other topics that I want to talk about. I'll just touch on them really quickly so this title is not clickbait. But I do want to start my business this year. And I've been wanting to start my business, but I didn't know what I wanted to sell. So I had a subscriber who was DMing me on Instagram, and I was asking her for video requests, and I think I got confirmation about my business and what I want to sell, because she actually recommended that I sell the item that I was thinking about selling. That was a tongue twister. But I think I definitely know what I want to sell. And this subscriber basically helped me confirm. So you can guess what business I'm going to be starting, and you can guess what type of things I'm going to be selling in the comments if you would like. And the last thing I want to talk about, so this title is not clickbait, is me graduating early. So if you didn't know, I basically have been going to college since I was 15 years old, and I have been in college for 5 years. So the first 3 years that I was in college, I was doing this thing called dual enrollment, and it's where you're in high school but you're doing college at the same time. So when I went to a 4-year university, I had credits that transferred, and so I'm basically going to talk to the department director to see if I can graduate early, because I already talked to my academic advisor, and I brought up that I was considering talking to the director of the department about, well, the chair of the department about graduating early, and she said that I'm a very hard worker and she believes I could do it because of my work ethic and how I was working in her class. And I honestly just want to, it doesn't make sense for me to do all of that hard work in high school just to be with everybody else for the whole 4 years. And me being a dance major, it's pretty easy to, if I was in person, it would be super easy to rack up on classes. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. But I just feel like I deserve it, and I want to get out of college early. So that's one less semester worth. That's one less semester worth of tuition and room and board that I have to pay. So yeah, that's kind of where my head is at with graduating early. I'm looking forward to, I look like I have a fresh relaxer. This is really cringy. But yeah, guys, I hope this was classy and not messy. Please let me know what you guys think about this story time / deep condition and chat, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ooh, I just feel like that outro was not it for me. Like, I couldn't find a good position. I look like I have a relaxer. It's just not my day. Not my day.
Dummies, subscribe.